Virtual work is on the increase. Ingrid Bayer is the CEO of VA Institute, and her latest book, Future Proof Your Career, is everything you need to know about how to build a successful and profitable virtual assistant business. She joins me live now. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Alana. I really appreciate you having me on.
Look, tell us a bit about this. I don't know much about this. The virtual assistant industry, is it thriving?
It is thriving. In fact, COVID gave us a bit of a leg up, if you like. It's anything but narrow. It's actually a really broad industry, and in Australia, we're seeing it, grow wings. It is made up of a patchwork of really skilled complementary service providers, and that's really exciting because it means that businesses from any level, so be they micro businesses, be they big businesses, can actually access their services by virtue of the internet, of course. So, once we're connected, we're able to do pretty much anything, and we're only limited by what we can access online. So the industry is thriving. Primarily, we're populated by females, and I guess that's just a throwback to, admin careers being female driven primarily, but we do see some men every now and again, and we certainly welcome men into our industry. And what we have found too is we've done a few surveys within the industry, and we see that around about 68% of people that we've surveyed have over 15 years experience in traditional employment. So they've come in very skilled, and they provide their services in their area of expertise. So yeah.
So your book talks about the virtual advantage. Tell us a little bit more about what that means, and I guess what it means to businesses, particularly moving out of COVID-19.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. And the virtual advantage, I always say, so I coined that because I think that there's a huge benefit to working with virtual assistants. And certainly, when you compare VAs with traditional, workplace employees. So, as COVID hit, this whole thing about scalability came into play, and it was light and bright because virtual assistants were able to, when COVID hit and businesses started to really tighten their belts, and it was like a knee-jerk reaction, right? A lot of VAs were able to then slow down, so they scaled back for their clients. And then what we saw is this collective sigh of relief as people realized that either they could continue, but most definitely they had to continue, and virtual assistants could then scale back up. Now, that's a whole different scenario to traditional employees, and with that comes flexibility. So VAs can provide their services outside traditional working hours, for example, and they're able to maybe do stuff on weekends, unlike, certainly with traditional employing overtime, double time and time and a half and whatever else, but VAs charge for the time they spend on the work, and so it's a much better proposition. And in terms of their connectedness, so VAs can also, maybe they come in as a virtual executive assistant, for example, but they are connected to many other complementary service providers within our industry, and they can connect small and large businesses with people who can do the work that they need done without all that cost of trying to recruit. So yeah, and
what's the breadth of what they can actually do? Can they be, you can tell them to bring your muffins in the morning. How much can you actually ask of a virtual assistant?
I always used to say that I can do everything except get you a cup of coffee, but actually I can still get a cup of coffee if I can order it, right? So no, we see people anywhere from the virtual executive assistant style right through to transcription, bookkeeping, document preparation, social media management, IT professionals, virtual online business managers. So look, it really is limited by your imagination. We have virtual receptionists as well, and I mean that's common, but in Australia we're seeing this industry take off. Absolutely.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Ingrid, it's fascinating stuff. Look, if people want to get in touch with you to learn more about this, or perhaps get their hands on your book, Future Proof Your Career, how can they do that?
They just need to get onto my website. It's vainstitute.com.au, and you can just subscribe, or you can grab a copy from there.
Fantastic. Ingrid, thanks for joining us on the program. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Alana.